This is Jim Willis, editor of Marcellus Drilling News, and I'm talking with Ed Camp, creator of an exciting new online web application called ShaleNavigator. And welcome to MDN TV, Ed. Tell us, why did you start ShaleNavigator and what's its purpose? And while you're talking, I'm going to shift over to the website itself.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Jim. This is an exciting new application. We've been live since August, and we've started it, basically it's an outgrowth of an effort, an in-house effort to evaluate property for an investor group that we were working with. And we really needed a lot of information on a very dynamic landscape in Pennsylvania and Ohio and West Virginia. So we spent a lot of time gathering up information from states and counties and the federal government, and built a lot of our own proprietary information as well, consolidated it into a single map, and decided to put it out there for public consumption. We have a free version and a subscription version.
Excellent, excellent. So I've changed over here to what is the home page that people will get when they go to www.shalenavigator.com. Tell us what we're looking at here, and then, if you would, take us on into the application, show us around.
Sure. This is the home page, and there's a little bit of information here that keeps people updated. Under announcements on the right, we have some help suggestions in using the application. We also have some hints at the recent news that we map out within the application, too. On the left are featured maps and other recent maps that we produce, as well as our subscribers. When a subscriber puts a map up for public view, it'll rotate into the featured map.
Great. So take it away. Yeah, we've already logged in over here on another tab, so we can show people around.
Sure. Once you've logged in, basically, you'll get a disclaimer pop up that describes a little bit about the limitations of the data, and everyone should know that. And also a nice little help and instructions dialog box that you can minimize and open up at any time you're in the application. So I'll just go ahead and minimize that now.
So yeah, so this view right here, this is a great view, and I'll say that I am a user of ShaleNavigator, so I think it's a terrific application. But a user coming in the first time and they're faced with this, obviously we're looking at a map, and this map is just chock full of information, and I'm sure you're going to be talking about how it's put together in different layers. But just give us a broad overview of what we're looking at here. I see a lot of triangles. I see boundaried areas, different colors and things like that. So what am I looking at here?
Sure, you're right. There is a lot of information here, and that's because we have a lot of the layers turned on at the initial view. Opening up the legend, as I've just done, will give you a brief synopsis of the symbology and what you're looking at. Layer control, also known as add layers, this box allows you to turn layers on and off.
Wow. And how many layers do you have?
We've got about 15 or 16 right now. We're adding every month.
Oh, great, great. And I see you're playing with a slider bar, and that can kind of make some of these layers a little more transparent, so you can back them off a little bit. That's a great feature of this thing.
Correct, yeah. It's if you want to set some layers in the background where you can use the slide rule, of course you could always turn them on and off as well at your need. But usually a good starting point for people to navigate is starting out with a town or an area of interest that they have, or even a single street address will work too. If you type that in, then you'll get a suggestion. If you agree with the suggestion, this will take you right to that area.
Oh, wow.
And there's navigation tools on the right side here,
mm-hmm.
where we could zoom out a little bit. And there's a pan, zoom, and an information button here that I'll show you as well. So if we zoom right to Amwell in Washington County, for instance, you'll see data populate as it draws. And initially we see company lease positions. This right off the bat tells us range resources is in the area.
Yeah, so I was going to say, are those lease positions, the colored areas there like
Yeah,
that?
those are general ideas of who's operating in the area.
Right.
So at the statewide view, they're very useful. Once you start zooming in a little bit, I usually choose to put those in the background or shut them off for the time being.
Okay. And we have a lot of triangles hanging around there.
Yeah, those are existing wells in Pennsylvania. And if you click on any of them, you'll have information pop up on who the operator is.
Yeah, and that is so cool. So range obviously is, they've drilled these wells in the area, and this is where does this information come from? How are you populating it?
Yeah, permits and wells are coming from the state DEP, and as soon as they release that information, we drop it into ShaleNavigator, and we let our users know. Anytime we add anything new, we put out an email or it's in our newsletter. The other thing I clicked, sort of transparent red circles, those are lease offers, and subscribers can see those. They're very useful for landowners.
Absolutely. I mean, you want to know what offers have been made to your neighbors potentially.
Exactly.
Wow, it's terrific information.
So some of the background options here, I can change to street, aerial, or hybrid.
Now, I know,
Change the background.
I know that one of the features, one of the layers too, are pipelines, which are also important because you can drill the wells, but unless you're going to connect those to a pipeline at some point, you're not going to get it to market. So, and I think you've just turned that on, these nice red lines coming down through. Are those the pipelines?
Indeed, and pipelines are one of our more challenging layers to build. We've been very diligent with building those in, basically hand digitizing them into the mapping system.
Wow. So all sorts of information. I mean, different layers containing different information. You're getting this from various sources. Sounds like the state DEP or DECs are providing information, and you're getting it from other places. You're wrapping it all into an application that throws it on top of a map so you can zoom in on a particular area. Tremendous application here for if you're a landowner and you want to know about the activity around you, whether you're leased or not. If you're a drilling company, obviously, or if you're working for a law office, or people are negotiating leases. I mean, there's all sorts of applications for this. If you can, we just kind of wrap it up here. We don't have much time left. Tell us about the free side of this and the paid side, and you've turned on something else down here, the news board as well.
Yeah, the news board is available to free and subscribers, and what that is, it's a very unique service. We find news that has a mappable component to it. So just today, actually, we added a new Chesapeake permit that occurred in Ohio. And if you click the Map It button, this will actually zoom to the location of that permit. Same with the other items as you go down the list. So we're finding some really interesting, relevant news and actually mapping it for the user. Excellent.
And what do people do if they are interested in subscribing or trying this out?
Yep. There's a free registration. That'll last 30 days. At that point, you can renew your free subscription, or you could just go ahead and subscribe. And the main difference is as people get to use the system, I think they have to develop a little bit of familiarity with what it can do.
Right.
And we're seeing a lot of people come over from free to subscriber to get access to those extra layers and also the drawing tools that I'm just showing real quick right here.
Yes, I see that. Yeah, that's really neat. So you can draw an area, and it doesn't have to be contiguous. And then you can save that as a map with the information.
Correct. Subscribers can create and save maps to their own library. They could also share them if they want to, or they can keep them to their private library. And that's stored on our server, so there's no local, your local system isn't taxed at all. Unless you want to download a map, then you could save it right to your workstation.
Right, right. Excellent. So once again, it's www.ShaleNavigator.com. Sign up for a free 30-day trial. Really kick the tires on this thing. And that'll give you access to all of this stuff, including the mapping that we're looking at here. And then if someone does want to go ahead and pay for a subscription, how much is a yearly subscription, or do you do it monthly?
Yeah, we do a monthly for $29 a month, and we also have, if you buy a year up front, you'll save actually 2 months up until December 31st. After December 31st, we knock off a month for free. So an annual membership is only $319.
Excellent. Great. Ed, thank you very much, and thanks for joining us today on MDN TV. Don't forget the latest news on the Marcellus and Utica shales. Check out Marcellus Drilling News at marcellusdrilling.com, and please be sure to go and check out Ed's great site, ShaleNavigator.com. Thanks a lot, Ed.
You're welcome. Thank you.